Cymbidium orchids, also known as boat orchids, belong to the Orchidaceae family and include approximately 50–80 species. These plants are native to tropical and subtropical regions of Asia, including India and China, as well as northern Australia. Cymbidium orchids are evergreen and produce showy flowers that range in color from white and pale yellow to green, maroon and bronze. The flowers are long-lasting, fragrant and often used in floral arrangements. They bloom primarily in winter and spring, with flowers appearing in clusters on spikes. These orchids can grow as epiphytes on trees, lithophytes on rocks, or terrestrial plants in soil and adapting to various environments. Their pseudobulbs and strap-like leaves contribute to their striking appearance. One of the most famous species of Cymbidium orchid is the noble orchid. This species is cherished for its elegant, fragrant flowers and compact growth, making it a favorite among orchid enthusiasts. Native to East Asia, it thrives in cooler climates and symbolizes grace and longevity in many cultures. In this video, we explore the world of Cymbidium orchids, discussing their growth requirements and maintenance needs. Cymbidium orchids require careful watering to thrive. Here are some guidelines. During the growing season in spring, summer and fall, water them 2–3 times a week, depending on the climate and potting medium. In winter, reduce watering to about once every 10 days. Always water in the morning to allow the potting medium to drain before cooler night temperatures. Ensure the potting medium is moist but not soggy. Overwatering can lead to root rot, while underwatering can stress the plant. Use pots with drainage holes and ensure excess water can escape. Avoid letting the pot sit in water. Cymbidium orchids thrive in a temperature range of 10 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. They can tolerate temperatures as low as 4 degrees Celsius and as high as 32 degrees Celsius for short periods, but prolonged exposure to these extremes can harm the plant. To encourage blooming, Cymbidium orchids require a cooling period with night temperatures around 13 degrees Celsius, typically in late summer to early fall. This temperature drop signals the plant to initiate flower spikes. For optimal growth, maintain a temperature difference between day and night, with day temperatures around 23 degrees Celsius and night temperatures between 10 degrees Celsius to 14 degrees Celsius during fall, winter and spring. Cymbidium orchids thrive in bright, indirect light. They require approximately 4,000 foot candles of light for optimal growth. Direct sunlight can scorch their leaves, so it's best to provide filtered light or place them in a location with morning sun and an afternoon shade. If grown indoors, position them near a south-facing window with sheer curtains to diffuse the light. Outdoors, they can be placed under a tree or in a shaded area that still receives plenty of light. The right substrate provides the foundation for healthy roots by ensuring proper drainage and aeration. A mix of coarse fir or orchid bark, coconut husk chips and perlite works well. In some cases, a touch of activated charcoal can be added to help filter impurities and regulate pH levels. Some growers incorporate sphagnum moss to retain a modicum of moisture, especially in arid climates, but ensure it's well draining. Cymbidium orchids thrive in moderate humidity levels, ideally between 40% and 60%. This range mimics the conditions of their natural habitats, such as the cooler, humid regions of Asia and Australia. Maintaining this balance helps prevent dehydration and supports healthy growth while avoiding excessive moisture that could lead to fungal issues. Cymbidium orchids require proper fertilization to thrive and bloom beautifully. Here's how to fertilize them effectively. Use a balanced orchid fertilizer with equal parts nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium during the active growth period. A high nitrogen fertilizer can be used in spring to promote leaf and root growth, while a bloom booster with higher phosphorus is ideal as flower spikes begin to form. Fertilize weekly during the growing season. In fall and winter, reduce the frequency to once a month as the plant enters dormancy. Always dilute the fertilizer to half the recommended strength to avoid root burn. Orchids are sensitive to high concentrations of nutrients. Water the plant thoroughly before applying fertilizer to prevent salt buildup in the potting medium. Apply the fertilizer evenly to the roots and potting mix. Once a month, flush the potting medium with plain water to remove excess fertilizer salts. Propagation of Cymbidium orchids can be achieved through division, backbulb propagation, keiki propagation, seed propagation, and tissue culture. In the division method, the best time to propagate is after the orchid has finished blooming, usually in late spring or early summer when the plant enters its active growth phase. To propagate, remove the orchid from its pot and gently loosen the roots. Shake off excess soil to expose the pseudobulbs. Using a clean, sharp knife or pruning shears, divide the plant into sections. Each division should have at least 3 healthy pseudobulbs and some roots to ensure successful growth. Dip the cut ends into a rooting hormone to encourage root development and prevent infections. Plant each division in a pot with a well-draining orchid mix, such as bark, perlite and peat moss. Ensure the pot has drainage holes to prevent waterlogging. Water the newly potted divisions thoroughly and place them in a bright location with indirect sunlight. Avoid overwatering as the roots need time to establish. Backbulb propagation is another method of propagating Cymbidium orchids. Backbulbs are older, leafless pseudobulbs that can still produce new growth. To propagate, first select healthy backbulbs from the parent plant. Remove them carefully and clean off any debris. Place the backbulbs in a pot with a moist sphagnum moss or orchid mix. Keep the medium slightly damp and provide indirect light. Over time, new shoots and roots will emerge. Another way to propagate these plants is by using keiki. Keikis are small plantlets that sometimes grow on the flower spikes of Cymbidium orchids. To propagate, wait until the keiki has developed roots that are at least 2–3 inches long. Carefully remove the keiki from the parent plant, pot it in a small container with orchid mix and care for it like a mature plant. Using seeds to propagate Cymbidium orchids is less common and requires special conditions, as orchid seeds are tiny and lack nutrients. To succeed with this method, a sterile, nutrient-rich environment in a laboratory is necessary. Tissue culture of Cymbidium orchids is a highly technical method used commercially to produce large numbers of plants. It involves growing orchids from cells or tissues in a controlled environment. Cymbidium orchids are susceptible to various diseases and abnormalities. Here's a breakdown of common issues and their solutions. Black rot causes dark, mushy spots on leaves and pseudobulbs due to excessive moisture. To treat it, enhance air circulation, reduce watering, and apply a fungicide. Leaf spot disease manifests as brown or black spots on leaves. To treat it, remove the affected leaves and apply a fungicide. Soft rot disease causes mushy, foul-smelling areas on the plant, often caused by Erwinia bacteria. Remove infected areas promptly and apply a bactericide. Mealybugs are sap-sucking insects that weaken the plant. Treat them with insecticidal soap as soon as they're spotted. Spider mites cause yellowing and speckling on the leaves. To treat them, increase humidity and apply miticides. Root rot occurs due to overwatering or poor drainage, causing the roots to decay. To address this issue, repot the plant in fresh, well-draining soil and reduce watering. Cymbidium orchids rank among the most exquisite flowers to cultivate. With patience and attentiveness to their environmental needs, their beauty can be cherished endlessly.